Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new, welcome. I noticed in my last video I said, or if you're new, welcome back, which makes no sense. But I obviously wasn't going to scrap the whole video just because of that. So today we have another special one. This sort of the end of June, July is intense. There are a lot of transits happening in July, mainly Uranus moving into Gemini, which it's not done in like 80 something years, which is insane. So if you do have any Gemini placements, look out for that. Gemini's in my moon, so that'll be interesting and looks like it's a positive thing. I mean, Gemini, I think, is exalted in Uranus. So is it exalted? Yeah, I think it is. So it's a good sign to be in. So good stuff, hopefully. But anyway, that's not what I'm here today to talk about. So today is a weird one. Weird one, but not a weird one. So I've previously learned of the Sirius Gateway, being half Egyptian and heavily interested in my sort of ancestry and whatnot, and just learning about ancient Egypt and all this stuff. I learned a while ago about the Sirius Gateway and what the Sirius Gateway kind of is. It's when the star Sirius aligns with the sun. So this happens every July, so once a year in the first week of July. It's also known as our spiritual sun, the star Sirius. If you don't know, it is one of the brightest stars in the sky. And so I remember hearing about it because I can't think exactly now, but there's a certain monument in Egypt that was placed in a certain way so that it was in alignment with Sirius during the gateway. So, oh, sorry. And ultimately, what people believe about it is that, and the ancients believe this, and spiritual people today, is that it was a place of higher consciousness, technological advancements, and like a sort of portal to higher realms. So it's quite a spiritual time. Those that feel especially connected to the star Sirius or ancient Egypt, both of which I do. I think I feel a slightly stronger resonance with Arcturus, but yeah, that's another conversation. So yeah, with the monuments, I think they did this because it was believed that the vibrations of the star would sort of rain down on the monument and deliver higher frequencies to Earth that would help in the advancement of life on Earth. So in some sort of, I'm not sure, you can call it folklore, mythology, or reality, we just don't have proof of it, that Sirius is also believed to be a home to highly advanced beings that have access to strong, like intuitive and psychic abilities, as well as advanced technology. And that I have had a lot of synchronicities and weird things with Sirius as well. So the main reason I'm coming on here is so I forgot about when this gateway is activated, and 0404, just when I looked at the clock then. And so on the 2nd of July, unbeknownst to me, this is when the gateway opened, but on the night of the 2nd of July, I went to bed quite late, like 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm a sleeper. Like, I love sleep, okay? And I went to bed, and all I remember is a dream of me standing with, there was a being next to me, and I think with hindsight I can sense it was not like a human. It was a being. I don't know like how to explain it. And we were looking at a white circle, but this circle was like I was aware that it was a gateway, like it was a portal. And there was part of me that was very scared to walk through this portal. Like, there was a fear, but there was an excitement. It was sort of like, it was almost like in my dream, I was aware that what I was doing was so serious and monumental. Is that the word? That it scared me. And so I don't necessarily remember going through it, but that's the last thing I remember before waking up. And so I think I did choose to go through it, and that's where I woke up. And so I only had 3 hours sleep, and I was woken up and I could not get back to sleep. And at this point in time, normally a lot of the time I'll remember dreams like when I wake up, but I didn't remember this instantly. And it was only sort of once I woke up, had my coffee and kind of things, whenever it's silent. And then I was like, oh my God, my dream. And then the fact that I woke up and the fact I couldn't get back to sleep and I was awake so early, like, and so I was really confused, and I typed in like gateway and everything. And then Sirius gateway came up and I was like, what? Because I saw in the dream it was like a portal gateway, and that's what I typed in. And then Sirius gateway came up and I was like, when is the Sirius gateway? And it opened on the 2nd of July. And that is the night I had the dream. Insane. Insane. So I'm a bit convinced that I've walked through this gateway, like this portal, or had a dream, at least, at the very least, for me to come on here and tell people, you guys, whoever this video found, it was meant to find. And I was meant to come on here and tell someone, whoever's listening, about this gateway, because you play an important part in it, is what I'm getting. So to go back to it, and also just to mention, the ancient Egyptians believed that it was closely linked to the goddess Isis. So she is, sorry, the divine feminine, if you sort of didn't know. So she's the sort of known divine feminine in ancient Egypt. So like the main one, so divine femininity is closely linked to this star as well, and this gateway. What I was going to talk about, so because there's another, okay, yeah, sorry. So there was another deity, but I can't remember who it was, and it's Anubis. So yes, so it was considered to be the star of goddess Isis, who rules over the cycles of death and rebirth, and Anubis, the jackal-headed god, who was able to walk between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Interestingly, here, I wasn't aware of this, but apparently in ancient shamanic cultures, Sirius was believed to be a portal to the gods, and journeys taken through the Sirius gateway were said to bring divine messages. It was also believed that Sirius was the portal to heaven, and was where our souls had to travel through in order to leave this realm and enter the next. That's interesting. I didn't know that. And in modern astrology, Sirius holds the vibration of freedom. So it's an energy basically to help us release limitations and feel free to express our true selves. And I guess that in turn does help bring about the sort of the new earth. So essentially what this means for you, this is a high energy time, but high frequency energy. If you are of a certain frequency, you will feel this energy and work with it, and it will come to you. So this is the time for you to advance your spiritual awareness. You'll be more open to receiving messages from the divine. So that's on a more metaphysical, spiritual level, but also in the physical level, it'll be a lot easier to find like a sense of freedom within ourselves and our own lives. But this is basically just a really strong time of connection. So that veil is quite thin, if you like, now, because the energy is so strong. So it's a time where, dreams, you need to pay significant attention to your dreams. Like my dream, you may receive sort of powerful energy in those dreams, downloads or codes in those dreams. Or you just might have some sort of contact with higher beings in your dreams. Also, just on deja vu. Deja vu is, well, this is my theory. That sense of deja vu being that when we feel deja vu, is it that we have done this thing on another timeline, potentially a higher timeline? And that is why we feel like we've done it already, because we have, but on another timeline. So when you feel this sense of deja vu, it's actually you carrying out an action that was carried out on your highest timeline, your master timeline. Therefore, implying you are aligning with that. You are now moving into that sort of timeline because you're doing the actions that happen on that master timeline. So to me, that's what deja vu feels like. It is. Obviously, there's no science behind that. But there's been a lot of research, and I'm not stupid, and that's the ultimate sort of conclusion I've come to that makes the most sense. So I don't know who needed to hear that. That was a little bit random. But so this week, it's all about, well, till the 7th of July, it's very much about keeping your energy clean. It's the perfect time to meditate, to receive downloads, codes, just sort of internal guidance, whether that's internal, like your inner knowing, your subconscious, your higher self, or external, from whether it's angels or higher dimensional beings from Sirius, who knows? But this is the time. Also, to reach out to your spirit guides or angels. You don't necessarily have to wait to receive. You can maybe, it's a good time to ask, and you're more likely to receive the answer or a message. But generally, so in the external way, it's a good time for you to look at your life, look at your sort of what you're doing, and the ultimate energy is freedom. So, it's about turning on your creativity, not even just creativity, just what works for you. What makes you feel free? Like, what would you happily just do? And that is what you need to try and follow. But also just freedom in whatever you are currently doing. You might be doing something you're not necessarily keen on. You might be an entrepreneur. You could work in the creative industries. Try and feel a larger sense of freedom in what you're doing. And I do believe this energy will bring that in naturally, just this natural sense of freedom, but conscious that you can work with it as well, if you know what I mean. If you do work in the tech industry, which I used to, there may be more innovations about in the next 7 days. Until the 7th of July. Yeah, basically just expect sort of insights, real like creative inspirations, especially with Uranus and Gemini come in. The veil is very thin, like energetically, whether you believe it's with, your higher self, guardian angels, spirit guides, aliens being higher dimensional beings of light. We don't want any dark ones involved. It's all, this is the time, this week, from the 2nd of July to the 7th of July. And this is the only month 2025, as we say, there's one a year. So, yeah. I did record this video earlier, but it turns out the sound was terrible, which was annoying. But I did pull angel messages, and I don't know if I can find. Oh no, It's still there. Okay, cool. I definitely was meant to just find it. It's on the base of the deck. So I pulled an angel message and it was 911 and it was courage. And the angel whisper is a doorway has opened for you. And while apprehension may be felt, allow courage to flow in as you put your best foot forward. You are being encouraged to let curiosity lead you and know that the divine has your back. Affirmation: I allow courage to prevail as curiosity leads me through new doors. That is very crazy because just my dream, the fact that it was like a doorway, gateway portal, and I was scared, apprehensive of going through it. And this is literally how it starts. A doorway has opened for you. Why? While apprehension may be felt, allow courage to flow in. Basically, what I did in my dream, but also the energy of this gateway of freedom and curiosity heightening. So allow courage to prevail, courage to be free, and just allow your curiosity to lead you through new doors. Underneath that, we have potential 333. Your chance to reach your highest potentials is here. Okay, so if that's not the best final message to leave it on, I don't know what is. I, for some reason, feel called to, roll the dice. So the number 8 might be relevant. I'm aware 8 is the day it might close because I think 7 is the last day it's actually open. And then we also have wild. That is wild. Uranus. Here's me talking about it because I'm like, it's moving into Gemini and mentioning it in this reading, and that's the one planet that comes up. So Uranus is relevant, which we know, and also Sagittarius is relevant, giving me temperance energy, earth angel vibes as well, which falls in line with this reading. So yes, as I mentioned in this reading, you need to be free, but you also need to be very open to anything that might be sent your way at this time, as you're being called as one of the people to allow these vibrations and this energy to be downloaded into you, for your vibration to elevate. And the more humans this happens to, the more Earth will elevate as a collective. So that is what we mean by the new Earth. So this gateway is a good 5 days to get a few people up, a few frequencies and vibrations, and bring them into that new Earth frequency, which is a step closer to bringing Earth into that frequency. So good job for your work, guys. You will not be receiving this message if you're not quite spiritually evolved. And it's not easy work. You may feel a toll on your physical body during this time, especially if you do receive any downloads or anything like that. But just know that everything is working for the higher good. Thank you for joining, guys. I do hope this message found who it needed to find, and it was helpful. I come on here and do channeled messages sort of randomly as I feel called to. At times I do tarot messages, although lately I've kind of, within myself, I've kind of felt a bit of a disconnect in tarot. Doesn't feel too aligned to spirituality. It does in a sense, but I think when you're going to tarot for future predictions and out of a sense of sort of fear and wanting answers externally from you, then it's bad. If it's more you want to come to tarot for the current energy to make sure it's aligned with what you already know in yourself, and it's more of an affirmation of what you know, not that you're seeking something outside of yourself, then I think that is healthy. So I, going forward, will be doing tarot readings based off of your own current energy. I'm not someone that is going to be doing silly, but love readings or things, saying things that you want to hear with clickbait titles to get you to click them of, oh my God, he's coming back to you, or they just realized this about you, or any of that, because I do feel that plays into this sort of thing of for people that you'll listen to that reading and then you feel this false sense of security, thinking this thing's going to happen and it doesn't happen, and you're sort of constantly seeking this external answer and validation, and you're not actually just working on your own energy within you, which is ultimately what does change your outer reality. Listening to a reading of someone saying that this blah blah is going to happen isn't going to change your reality, but changing your internal vibration will. And if you're listening to something telling you blah blah is going to happen, and you're that obsessive over it, where you're seeking videos to tell you that that's going to happen, then you're not on that vibration to receive that thing, if that makes sense. But so, yes, if any of you are spiritual, are here to, more on law of attraction, manifest sort of the reality. How does reality really work? How do we get what we really want in reality? And not in a selfish way, just how do we really manifest and stuff? It is kind of what I've just mentioned. It's all about being on the right vibrational level. And it is not actually anything external. It's not hard work even. You don't have to put in hard work. It all starts internally. All those things we've been told is a lie to ultimately keep us in fear. But anyway, I am rambling at the end of my outro, so apologies. And I do hope to see you in the next one. If you like this video, then please do like. If it resonated, especially, please do. If it resonates, then please do let me know below, especially dream-wise. It'll be very interesting to hear of anyone that's had the same dream as me or a similar dream related to this gateway. And of course, do subscribe if you like this video and want to see or hear more from me. Okay, thanks guys. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.